Did you know you have a YouTube channel? YouTube, are you crazy? What is wrong with them? You've got to be logged in to like a video, so you know you've got a channel. Stupid. I dare say it's just their way of encouraging people to press the like button and you know, say, hey, doing this helps people. But why don't they just say, hey, doing this helps people? Not, do you know you've got a channel? Of course we bloody know. Yeah, feeling cranky. Going to be rushing this, I'm afraid. I'm not feeling well. Sorry, grumble. No, I don't want sympathy. No, stiff neck, everything hurts, want to go back to bed. But anyway, here we are, and I'm going to talk to you. It's the Friday Talkie. I think I forgot to say that. What have I got to talk about? Okay, first things first. I would at this point spin the camera around and show you something, but I'm rushing and it's going to be half-assed. Which is probably not fair, because this deserves better than that. Sod it, I'm going to spin the camera around. There. The Retro Game News. It is an online magazine that you can find at theretrogamenews.com. It will, where is it? I've lost it. Well, there are those who said I lost it years ago. There, it'll ask you for your name and your email, blah, blah. They won't spam you, I can assure you. I signed up. It's so they can send you this. The Retro Game News magazine. It's in PDF format. It is edited by Phil Wheatley. And reviewers are, well, Sneztastic, David Hasselhoff, and I'm not going to pronounce that, Lebossu77. All of who I'm familiar with on YouTube, and so should you be. And it's great. It is really cool. They've got articles on games, shock horror, retro games at that, and interviews with famous people like Jeff Minter this month, and slightly less famous people. Yeah, I don't know who this geezer is, but he's in there, which is really cool, and it made for really interesting reading because I didn't know any of this stuff. Yeah, it's great. I like it a lot. I've got all, they're up to issue 3. I've got all 3 of them, well, because they're free. So, go along to theretrogamenews.com. Give them your email address. They'll send you the PDFs. And you can have a good read. It's great. I like it. And I'm dead chuffed to be in there. So thank you to Phil and Pete and Michael and Owen, because you're doing a great job. Okay, rushing on randomly, or not randomly, because I have planned what I'm going to talk about. It's just disorganized. Ouya. Yeah, that thing. I'm probably the last person to talk about it because everyone has talked about it. It is the new uber cheap $99 Android powered games console that's been financed by Kickstarter, and they like completely slaughtered their requirements for like funding and whatnot, and got what they wanted within the first day. So it looks like it will be made. It's an open platform. I've read this, I have heard the specs, I haven't paid too much attention to them because that kind of thing just doesn't mean anything to me. Is it uber powerful? No, not really. It will do 1080p. I don't know, I mean, I imagine that will be video playback. I don't know about resolution for games. I don't care. It's not going to be up to PS3 and Xbox 360 levels, but it's not meant to be. Is it going to be a Wii kind of level? I don't know. I don't care. It's Android powered, so you can expect it to be at least as good as your Android phone. The point of it is, for those who don't get it, it's an open system. Anybody can program for it. Anybody can put out their software for it free. And the idea is that all software for it should initially be free, and then the developers decide on pricing. Now, they're vague about this. Do they mean you get the first level for free and then you buy the rest, or you get the whole thing for free for a limited time frame and then you've got to pay to carry on. I don't know. I haven't actually read that much, so that might actually be stated somewhere. I don't know. I don't care. What do I think of this? Where do I think it's going? Is it competing with the big boys, Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo? No, but it might actually be a wake-up call to them, because what it means, the support for this system, what it means is there is a demand for a more open system. People are objecting to the restrictive nature of the gaming industry at the moment. Enough that they will invest in a new system that is open. Obviously they're happy to have it download only. I personally dislike download only greatly, but it's open. I imagine once you've downloaded it, it is yours to do with as you will. There is actually a law being passed in Europe now that stipulates you can resell your downloaded software. Valve are, is it Valve? One of them. Steam, some, they're saying, oh, they're not going to support this. Well, they're going to bloody well have to if they want to sell in Europe. It is law that your downloaded software is yours. If you've paid for it, you can do what you like with it, including sell it. And they will have to facilitate this or not sell in Europe. And I don't think they're going to wave goodbye to a big, you know, it may not be as big as the US market, but it's big enough. Anyway, that's by the by. The Ouya. It is sending out a message. All this restrictive bullshit is pissing people off. Maybe the big boys will take note. That's not necessarily what this thing is all about. I mean, Review Tech USA, Rich, he said, you know, it's a great platform for programmers to showcase their skills and say, hey, look, I can do this. You know, bedroom programmers. And he's got a very good point there. There will be people who will be able to show they can code and they can do clever stuff, and the big boys will then pick them up and give them a job. Maybe. I'll tell you what it makes me think of. Several people have said it reminds them of the Spectrum and the Commodore 64 days, when it was all about bedroom coding and anyone could do it. Yes, there's some truth in that. But it reminds me of something else. The Amiga. It reminds me of Fred Fish, public domain, shareware. Bedroom coders were doing their thing, and there were distribution networks of one sort or another, be it floppy disks passed round in the playground or sold through mail order for just the price of the disk, or downloadable from the bulletin boards and later from Aminet. You would get your first few levels for free, or maybe even the whole thing, and they encouraged you to pay for it if you liked it. This is where it's at. And I mean, what was shareware like on the Amiga back in the day? Well, I would say 90% of it was a big steaming pile of crap. And I expect 90% of what gets put out on this Ouya to be a big steaming pile of crap. But it was free, so it didn't matter. You got it on your cover discs, on your magazines. You would wade through it and have a go at every game and think, that's crap, that's great. And there was some brilliant stuff. One of my favourite games on the Amiga was a thing called Scorched Tanks. And a friend of mine would come round and we would play it for hours. I mean, Worms kind of came out of that later on. There was some great stuff on it. What was it? I played some zombie thingamajig. It was kind of like Operation Wolf with zombies. And that was shareware, freeware, public domain, something or other. It was on the cover of a magazine. This is how I see the Ouya working, something like that. Shareware. Get bits for free, pay for other bits. Don't expect to pay too much because it's not going to be up there with your AAAs. Maybe the big companies will distribute stuff on it. And I don't know what kind of prices they will look for, but it's your home programmers, your amateurs, talented, imaginative, doing stuff that you can't go out and buy in the shops. There's a lot of indie stuff. I mean, I think there's more on the Xbox 360 than there is on the PS3. There are a load of smaller names doing stuff on the PS3 as well, on the PlayStation Network. I've tried a few. I've got to say I find some of them really quite generic, because there's the thing, to distribute on there you've got to pay for a license and blah blah, and even though they're not having to deal with the massive budgets, there's not too much risk taking going on. There are some, I mean, that flower thing, that was original. But I think when there's no license fee involved, when you can do whatever the bloody hell you like, where you're encouraged to hack the system itself, yeah, anarchy, I think. There will be an amount of anarchy, there will be some real creativity, there will be some god-awful crap, but in that there will be some real diamonds, absolute gems, you know, works of genius. Are they going to sell it in the UK? I don't know. If they do, I want one. I have no intention of attempting to program on it. I can't code for crap. It took me a whole afternoon to learn how to program, how to open a system window on the Amiga using Blitz Basic. I'm that bad. I managed to make it count to a certain number, and as it did so, it just locked out the rest of the system until it finished counting. I am that bad, so I won't be coding it. But I want one, and I hope it succeeds. Anyone who thinks they're going to get it for playing online games, super AAA, fan-dangled first-person shooters that you're going to get on the other systems, you're missing the point. That's not what it's for. You've already got machines for that. This is for creativity, for saying, sod you with your restrictive bleeding business practices. It's like punk. That's what it is. It's the punk games console. Anyone can do it if they want to, even if it's crap. There you go. Right. Moving on. I'm not sure what angle I want to come at this subject as. This is actually a roundabout, long-winded way of coming on to five shout-outs. Gaming. When I was a kid, when it was your Atari 2600, your ZX81, your Spectrum, your Electron, your Commodore 64, your Beeb, it was aimed at boys. Pretty much exclusively. I did not know at that time a single girl who played video games. Now, Andrew's two daughters played video games by the time the Amstrad was out, and they had a Commodore, and they played them. But me, when I was a kid, I didn't know a single girl who played them. And it seems that gaming was aimed at boys. When Nintendo came along, it got a little bit more family friendly, and you had your Marios and stuff like that, and I think girls maybe got more into it. And it's kind of occurred that I've found myself thinking about this a bit, in that this seems to show itself to a degree on YouTube. What do I mean by that? This is so open to misinterpretation. Anyone out there who says, he's saying there are no girl gamers. No, I'm bloody well not. Anyone who's saying, he's saying there's no girl retro gamers. No, I'm bloody not. I am saying, actually I'm kind of asking a question. Are there any female retro gamers pre-NES, before Mario, on YouTube? Because I don't know any. I just don't. And more specifically, doing gameplay videos. I look, I really do, and I don't know any. I haven't seen any. That doesn't mean they're not there. I'm just unaware of them. And I think that's a pity. But when I think back to how it was when I was gaming back then, I suppose it shouldn't surprise me. It was aimed at boys. And as it became a more professional, more of an economic thing, where developers realised, hold on, we're missing a whole sector of the market, and they started aiming games at girls, it became more of a unisex thing. And you look at it now, and there are lots of, I'm not going to say girls, women, female gamers. And yeah, I suppose the question, here's the thing. I'm kind of I limit myself in the kind of videos I watch, in that I like to watch gameplay videos, and I don't really care about pickups videos. And I know there are quite a few female retro gamers who are doing pickups videos, and I'm positive they're great at them, and I absolutely wouldn't knock them. I just don't watch them because that's not my thing. I don't know if there are many gameplay female retro gamers out there. I'm repeating myself. But anyway, yeah, this kind of is bringing me forward, I think, to like, these are my favourite gameplay video gaming females, women, whatever, on YouTube, who I'm finding myself watching quite a bit now. It's a long-winded roundabout way of getting to a shout out for a bunch of people who I think are really good. Some I've mentioned, some I haven't, and trying to do it in such a way as to have a point without really having one. Yeah, I'm sure there are some. I've probably missed some really good channels out there. I just can't bloody find them on the retro gaming front, pre-Mario. If you know of any, or if you are one and you do gameplay videos, let me know, because I like that kind of thing. Anyway, so the kind of things I find myself watching in female gaming gameplay, I'm going to shout out now, because there are, I'm counting, there are 5. The first is the RPG Minx, Michelle, who recently shouted me out, and I think actually she's got the biggest channel that I'm aware of who's shouted me out. Like, there are actually some channels who shouted me out in the past, but they weren't this big then. They're massive now, but do you know what I mean? That big an audience. And yeah, she shouted me out, and I have had a fairly continuous stream of people coming along since then. So thank you, Michelle. I really do appreciate that. Now, what's she doing? I'm not actually, I don't do shout out for shout out. I'm shouting her out because I like what she's doing, and what she's doing is, okay, she does Let's Plays on a number of different games, and it's not so much the games that she's playing. Largely they're games that I don't play, though there's some Half-Life here. Yeah, in her Games That Define Me video, Half-Life, which well, I'm into Half-Life too, so it was interesting to watch that. And what can I say about her style? Well, she never fucking swears. I've never fucking heard her fucking swear, ever. She has got a sharp wit, yeah, that I find quite entertaining. So do check her out if you like your... Well, it's all first person. They are Let's Plays. She goes into detail on how to play these and is really quite proficient at her gaming. Okay, then there is Marlinism, who I think found me via Michelle's shout out, because she came and commented on some of my videos, and I went and had a look to see what she's doing, and I like what she's doing. I've been watching her. She's doing like a Let's Play thing of Fallout 3, and I do like watching videos of that because I'm playing it myself. And her style is, I'm not going to say playing badly, it is just that dive in and go with the flow, and if it goes well, great, and if it doesn't, great. And she's got a sense of humour with it that makes me smile and chuckle, and I like the way she does it. She's got a good manner. That's Marlinism, who is Swedish? Yeah. I'm really not familiar with the Swedish accent. I thought I knew what it sounded like, but I guess I didn't, because she has an interesting accent, which makes the whole video experience viewing thing interesting, adds a certain flavour. Cool. Here we are. Hello. Okay, where was I? I think I've done. Marlinism, yes. All links down there. Next up, Hunter Killer, which is not spelled as you would think. It's spelled hunt her, kill her, but she pronounces it Hunter Killer. She is from Brisbane, Australia, and she does Let's Plays, really. Half-Life Blue Shift, Alice Madness Returns, I don't know what that is. Yeah, again, with all of these, it's a question of style and sense of humour. And she's just got this laid-back, whatever kind of approach that I like. So yeah, do check that one out. I'm rushing now. I've been interrupted. I've lost my train of thought and my equilibrium. The next two I have shouted out before. Gameplay Jenny. Well, you know, I shouted her out a couple of weeks ago. Just so funny, playing, well, she says badly. I don't think she plays that badly at all. And then Foxy Roxy 999, the girl gamer, who does a number of different things. She's currently doing a Dawn Guard thing on Skyrim, and there's some Minecraft there as well. And she does these other, well, talking to the camera type videos that are highly amusing. So these are the female gaming channels that I watch, not because they're female, but because they're good. Because it did occur to me that a very, very large chunk of the channels that I shout out are male, and then it occurred to me, well, there are just so few retro gaming female channels that are doing the kind of thing I like, and the female channels by women that I like are on modern games. So there they are. I watched those 5 and like them very much, and thoroughly recommend checking them out. Not sure if that all came across as really contrived. I kind of had a point, but it's not an easy thing to come at in a way that isn't totally open to misinterpretation. Anyway, moving on, because I need to. What's coming up? More of the same. I've got a couple of things. I'm gonna, I don't know if I want to give away what I'm gonna do actually. I'm gonna do a video of a game that I'm in. Ha! Yeah. I'm not gonna tell you any more than that, but it's done by some YouTubers. And then I'm going to do a video response to a video by someone, because I said I would, and it was a good thing, a good topic, and I'm not telling you what it is, because that would spoil the surprise. What else? Going to be more joysticks of the day, more system overviews, and more Atari ST gameplay videos. And then I'm not sure quite when I'll fit it in. Bloody neck hurts. I want to go into a little bit of detail with that SD card doofer that I got from me Commodore 64. I don't know if that'll be next week or the week after. Yeah, it's kind of it really. Bit rushed, bit not really comfortable with this one because I'm just not feeling great. I want to go back to bed. Shutting up now. Thank you for watching.